Well, I'm on my way to the shelter build, or I'm going to try and get to the shelter build. I was out here 3 weeks or so ago, and it hasn't changed a whole lot. I'm thinking back there, there might have been even more snow. It was definitely deep. The weather hasn't been favorable, so it hasn't melted at all. I was kind of hoping that the rain we had for the past couple days would have done something to this, but it doesn't look like it has. So it's going to be a crapshoot for the next couple weeks to see if I can actually get across over there. So I'm going to continue on and see if I can. I'm going to film in spits and spurts here because the ground, the snow isn't packed enough, and every time I take a step I'll either go down a half inch or go down 14 inches. So it's just gonna shake the crap out of the phone. So if I can get there, I'll film some more. The last time I was here, this is, well, first off, this is the path that you go to the shelter. The shelter is just over there, just in behind those trees there. Now, what you need to do is you need to come down here and follow it just off of here and then turn that way on the other side. This looks to be like an old beaver dam. It doesn't look like it now, but there is a pond right here. An old one, it could be runoff, whatever. I'm assuming it's a beaver, because that's what this looks like to me in the fall anyways. Maybe not, but when I was here last 3 weeks ago, this whole section here was just, it was all ice, just a nice thin ice just like this, and I couldn't cross. And the other thing was the water, which is a lot lower now, was actually up into here, and there was snow right across. I'm thinking it was frozen in this spot here, but I'm not 100% sure. The water was flowing over here when I was last here. Anyways, I couldn't get down there, so it was a bust. So I ended up turning around. I didn't film any of it last time I was here, but now the ice is receded, the water's dropped, and I can get down there. Now, the other thing that I noticed while I was here was, and because there's snow, there's lots of tracks. Now, that one there, right there, that looks like moose. Maybe deer, I'm not sure. And there's droppings too. Again, deer, moose. And if it was just that one spot, then it wouldn't bother me. But the problem is I'm seeing it everywhere. Just a few more feet and I see it there. Okay, and then I believe, oh yeah, and then right here. Now, you can see right over there my pack. That's where I want to build the shelter. And if you look right here, just right in there, there's more. And then there's also more just over here. Now, if it's deer, I'm not worried. They won't come around. Moose, this time of year, and they've got their pups, cubs, kids, whatever you want to call them, that could be a different story. So there's more over there, and then there's more right there. But I'm not 100% sure what it is. I didn't see any of this in the fall, so I'm wondering, is this just a springtime thing and then they wander off somewhere else? They're just coming to get a drink because the river is right there? Or what? I don't know. So I don't know if I'm, no. I was uncertain if I should continue this, if this turns out to be moose. Am I going to be here one day and they're going to come across and get attacked because the mother's protecting her young? Or is it deer and I'll never see the deer because the deer are more afraid of me than I am of it, or whatever. So for now, I'm going to continue on, and I'll just have to, that one there and that one over there. It's the two areas I want to use, so I'll have to move that stuff. So I've got the ridge board up, ridge beam. I had to retie these two because they were fairly loose. And I've got thicker bank line that I put around. I just did it fairly quickly because I know, just like these ones down here, it's gonna loosen up. So I'm gonna have to retie it again at least once or twice just to get it going. That one there, I retied. I left the bottom one. The bottom one wasn't too bad. But again, just a quick tie with thicker bank line, just to hold it in place basically. It's not the sturdiest thing in the world. It's got a bit of play, and that's because of this one over here. You can see the whole thing. I have a tripod tied to a branch, and it's a little small, so if the wind picks up a little bit, it's going to move it. So as you can see here, there's a fair amount of play just because of this one here. But what I'll end up doing is I'll end up putting a brace down and lash it to it to help stiffen it up. And I'll probably do the same on that side over there. At some point, roughly around here, I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but roughly around, I don't know, the 7 or 8 foot mark from that tree over there. So roughly around here, I would say, somewhere in this area, I'm probably going to end up finding a wide branch to put right here to help hold this, because it's a little shaky. The ridge beam gets thinner on that, and I don't have 4 inches maybe on that side. I have it sticking out more on this side because I plan to do another lean-to running this way. So if anything, there we go. I've got the ridge beam up. I'm going to see what else I can do. Maybe cut some more wood. Other than the 2 logs, that was the second one that I just brought in. All of those and the ridge beam that is now up behind or in front of me, it's all from the immediate area. I want to stop doing that because I want to maintain some type of concealment, some type of stealth, I guess you can say. I don't want anybody coming around after I've done this and start using it or vandalizing it because they can see it from the trail or from the road or from wherever. So these 2 pieces, and subsequently any shelter building material and probably any firewood material, is going to be coming from on the other side of the trail and perhaps even down a little further. But I want to stay away from using anything around here. I might grab the few small twigs and anything like that for kindling and fire starting. I plan to do that today when I have a coffee later on, but other than that, everything is going to be either well off this way, or more than likely well off back through the path that I showed earlier in the video, and then back down the trail a bit. There's a fair amount of large pieces that I want to use and bring back here, so at this point that's what I'm going to start doing, and it's going to slow it down tremendously because I have to travel so far to get it. I don't know if I've ever done any type of showing or comment on this. I got this last fall, late summer, the BIGBOY Silky folding saw, BIGBOY 2000. And the Laplander that I had, the blade was too small. The blade only came out to here. When I want to cut something like this blade is much longer and can actually do the job where the BIGBOY Laplander can't. The blade's just too small for something this size. The Silky line, I'm thinking the majority of them, as far as I know, they're all a pull cut, where the Laplander does both. It's both forward and back, push and pull. This saw, I've cut a log similar to this size last winter, or last fall, and it was like cutting through hard butter. It was amazing. You can see how easy it's cutting through. It does take a bit of work because the log is such a big diameter, and I need 2 of these, I believe. 4, I believe. Something like that, I can't remember. I need a few of them. So there you have it. It took a bit. It got caught up. As you can see, it dropped lower because it was resting on this trunk here. The log is right there. I'm going to cut one more, which should be easier this time, about the same length, and I'm going to hike them back to camp. I'm sitting on a fallen log. Shelter is right in front of me, 10 feet away. Sun's out. There's no wind. Get a light breeze every once in a while. They were calling for +1, I believe, today. The amount of moving around I've been doing and the 3 layers of clothing I have on, I'm quite comfortable. That being said, I've got wool socks on, and my feet are, well, my boots are wet, and my feet are sweaty, I'm going to say. I'm going to assume the boots are still good and I don't have holes in them. Not in both feet anyways. So I'm assuming my feet are sweaty and the wool socks are absorbing it, and now my feet are starting to get chilly. So that tells me that I either have to change my socks or I should think about leaving. I've been here probably close to 3 hours now, if not just over. It doesn't look like I've done a whole lot. I retied the ridge supports. I put up the ridge beam and I lashed it down. I cut up a couple fair-sized branches, and I cut 2 big, I'd say probably 13-inch diameter logs. I did not get them to the shelter because, well, they're frickin' heavy. I got them, both of them, halfway here, and I plan to bring out, well, I'm going to bring out my canoe pack and just put them in the bag and carry them on my back. It'll be much easier. So next weekend when I come out, I'll bring that with me, and then I'll bring those two and cut a couple more and bring them over and start getting the materials ready to get the raised bed built. But I won't be able to do any of that until the snow melts. So for now, I'm happy that I've been here, happy that I got here, happy that I did a few things, even though it doesn't seem like a lot. I did a fair amount of filming, which I wanted to do, and I did it a little differently, so hopefully it'll be better. Other than that, it's a good day.